December the 7th of 2017 it is. I am still working on 3-hour project about my mama. Now I do have to translate all this stuff, and I want to complete all this stuff about my father, about my mom, before I actually go for a walk. Because it's something I want to do more than anything. And so they wasted me 4 days with computer hacking. You guys have no idea what I have gone through regarding my computers, 2 of them. They have scenarios, I don't know how many, all kinds of abduction threats, this and that, if I will do this. As a matter of fact, yesterday when I did posted that video about the mom, just in Slovenian, those are audio recordings, and I have posted the stuff later on in the morning. It was exactly according to MK Ultra scenario. According to MK Ultra scenario, my mom and dad would go to the city in the morning, and within like let's say 3 hours or something like that, they would return back with authorities and get me out of the house. That's how it was exactly under MK Ultra scenario. I'm sure you hear my neighbor. In a little bit I'm going to talk about him. No, it didn't happen. It did not happen, any of that stuff, but according to MK Ultra, that's how it was. There was a lot of other stuff that did not happen. Anyhow, so I did work on this project, get this video actually translated into English. That means I have to about 51-minute long video translate into English language and give some comment and stuff like that. Eventually it's gonna span into 3-hour long video, okay? So I did go sleep this morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and as I went in bed, within 3 hours, I could not sleep anymore. I knew exactly what was going on, because it's always the same shit when the neighbor comes to play with his, I believe it's a microwave gun. Under MK Ultra, they have suggested me different scenarios, different type of possibilities they could use to disturb my sleep, damage my health from microwave weapons. And then they have stated me there is another kind of device, radiation, that can be used to deeply disturb individual from rest, from sleep. I don't think so. Mitya Weber, that's actually from my sister daughter's husband, have suggested me greatly under MK Ultra on how they will measure the radiation. So I think it was a microwave. I believe it's a microwave, okay? I believe it's microwave because on occasions when they were here, social workers or psychiatrists, when they came, and if I slept, what they would do is they would use something that would wake you up like really, really sharply, okay? And you were heated. You could feel that like you're burning. That's, I would say, microwave with lower scale than otherwise would be used, basically to disperse crowds, okay? So they measured exactly the range where my bed was positioned, and from underneath, exactly the heights and exactly the levels of radiation, and how that would actually affect me, how much it would need. They have tested stuff on themselves, okay? But not to the degree they have done it to me. And this shit they have done to me, unprecedented. I mean, you're talking about more than 10 years of this stuff that they were doing to me. I'm not saying every day, but occasionally, okay? Lately a lot. Main concern of Americans was my sleep in the US, which was at least 8 hours per day, normal sleep. And this is what my normal sleep is. If I'm not disturbed, I still get sleep nicely, and I bring those hours in that I lost. But if you have somebody like this constantly going after you. You know, especially yesterday I posted about the Putin, and I think it was pretty damn tough news I posted about him.
Alright, well, here is the news I'm talking about. This definitely is the news nobody have posted so far. Anything like this yet. And it pretty much explains absolutely everything. All kinds of meddling, Russian meddling in US elections, email hacking, meddling in Brexit, and Catalonian independence, and now even what is going to be about the Olympic Games. Okay? So when you publish a news like this, it hits pretty darn bad.
This guy here is straight for the Putin, I tell you that. And so, what was I gonna say? Now, if the radiation level is even lowered, okay, then what happens is, and you're exposed to one on a longer period, all they have to do is expand that on a longer period. See, nobody talks about this on videos. It's quite crazy to me. I mean, it seems like when people watch the videos on YouTube and stuff, that the only way the microwave weapon can be used would be to disperse crowds. Well, this is definitely not the truth. Americans are actually chronically suffering from sleep deprivation, and I believe this stuff that I'm talking about has got a lot to do with it. Okay, so if the radiation level is even lowered and one is exposed to one for a longer time, he will not use, I'm gonna say, burn sensation and stuff, but you can definitely you can feel the, I mean, you can feel that, you know, you feel like you slept a lot, you slept enough, and then you wake up, and actually you are like somebody would beat you up. I mean, this is exactly how the hell that works. Okay, I'm going to give you exactly this description of it. Now, the neighbor I'm talking about, right here across the street, in a little bit I'm going to show you his house, right here across the street, right in front of us. He is in bed with Moscow, and they have anticipated to get me in Moscow. Get me out of here, either get me to Moscow, and if that would not work, according to him alone, he would go out of here. As a matter of fact, you're going to start to talk about me, this and that. If I'm going to have to, and then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to be the one I'm going to go. But if I'm going to go, then I'm going to send you someone to kill you, this and that. He talked under MK Ultra, harassed me about how he will do the radiation and stuff like this on me. How I am actually gonna come to him and I'm gonna lose that temper and jump on him and stuff. You're not gonna be able to handle. Oh, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be that. Let me tell you, when you get those sessions, when you get up like this, radiated really well, you know, if somebody would, I don't know how much you guys are familiarized with Steiner, Rudolf Steiner, but that was actually the guy from Croatia with German name. I guess he considered himself a German too, I don't know. Right here from Zagoria. Okay, well, he talked a lot about subconscious suggestions, how to brainwash people subconsciously, how in sleep. He was the beginner, I would say, father of MK Ultra before Americans knew, before anybody knew anything about it. He happened to be from Croatia, this dude. He did not go into, like, the word MK Ultra did not exist back then, and did not have drugs as sophisticated as they do have these days in the US and Europe. Male guys here, mailman. But he definitely did know how the subconscious mind works, and based on his principles, later on scientists have developed the whole structure, the whole procedure about how to brainwash people and, you know, basically get them do what they would want them to do and stuff like this. So this is how basically I see MK Ultras. I should say, see things the way they want them to see, and so on. So I see this personally as something that would be a pioneer of MK Ultra, okay, methods. Because just knowing how it all operates, how it works, it's, you know, that core, the principle, which is really, you know, I don't know. I mean, you don't have to be really a genius to understand how it operates, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so anyways, is there anything else I want to say? Touch. I guess I did forget some stuff I wanted to say, but you know, I gotta go back and do that documentary, 3 hour long documentary, before I'm gonna get to one. That's all I wanted to say. Stuff like this, when you don't, when you're not rested enough, that can have a really potential effect on your work, on your performance, on how you, you know, do your stuff. But you know, I'm far from being really affected in any way, and I'm gonna take some steps to somehow reduce this possibilities of being, you know, radiated like a mouse, basically here. Oh, what I was gonna say is he also suggested me. He also suggested me there will be camera around here. There will be cameras around here, but he suggested me that he will find the possibility even to get around somehow through the other neighbor on the property behind the back of the house and so on. So he mentioned that kind of stuff, that kind of crazy shit. But then again, it's enough that somebody has that tool, and it can be done to you. Okay. So if you are deprived of sleep, you may want to consider uh, stuff I have talked about today. There might be, what the heck, there might be some stuff also I did not investigate because I'm into other stuff really. I gotta complete this stuff and then go about my business. Oh, I also was gonna say about the Moscow and stuff like that. Moscow is like this. They had me in Moscow also. According to K Ultra, I came over there and so on, and I was supposed to be for the political position as well. Then they had me in the house, and when I got there in this house, they got Americans, they got neo-Nazis around me. They popped up out of everywhere. Americans, warrior chick Lydia, David Duke, and all kinds of spooks. Because Russians actually are in bed. They really are in bed with this garbage. That's what Putin is. They had Russians and in America, and they had them everywhere. It's a lot of stuff I don't even want to talk about because you know why? Because I fear that if I tell the whole thing, I just fear that uh, you know, I might damage even whatever might be there. But I do say this because if I will go to Russia, right now I am reserving the right to say, to blow them up. And I don't care, I don't know if it's going to be Shugoi or whoever is going to be out there with this stuff. Uh, that's, you know, I will explain to you why I'm not going to say the whole thing now. Um, I feel that Putin's got to be stopped at all costs somehow, some way, because in 2007 he signed agreement, cooperation with Bush, got some technology from Americans, but in my view, far, 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 far from what the case should be. In my opinion, Russia is not treated as equal. Um, like I said, did not give to Russia the same as they have given to Germany, even the fucking Germany, or Japan, or Italy. And till that economy totally recuperates, I'm not gonna say only stands on the feet, but till I see Russian families like totally in line with the West, like having ability to have kids, till I see the towns prosper throughout Siberia, till I see factories, till I see technology, till I see that um, the money that is paid to the Russia they owe, me personally, I'm not going to get into any kind of games. Now they understand that they do even have China already in their pockets. But for me, first is really a quality issue. Till I see these things, till I see that, you know, the stuff they try to get Russia with, this is the stuff that, how can I say, you know, they're suggesting that white pride worldwide and so on. But the fact of the matter is they don't consider them white, and you know, because of that, I don't consider myself as white either. Now, till we get fixed this kind of issues, the equality issues, they might got China into it. They're never gonna get me on board in any way. And even if we get on board in somehow, some way, it's not gonna be any white pride worldwide. That definitely will never ever be the case, because that's a neo-Nazism. As a matter of fact, it never ever should be considered as Western option. Should never ever be considered as option of any kind. I will not forget Americans, Buckingham Palace, McCain's, Prince Charles, deep state, U.S. government, as deep as it gets. We just want to get these things done, like at all apping cost. Okay, as soon as we get them done, that means they will acquire new areas in Africa and Middle East. Um, Nothing is gonna stop us. We're gonna get into the space. We're gonna take off. Okay, but right now we feel that vast resources are wasted in Africa and Middle East. They represent danger, South America, and so on. So they will try to get us people on board. Don't get into any of it. This is far from acceptable. By the way, this kind of stuff. If we would get into, it would be much more than just going into wolf pack, into hunt, after something. You get to understand that you're actually going to give them credibility. You're going to give them actually a credit for performing execution of 80 million people in World War II. Because you don't just participate. Once you participate with them, you become part of them, and you have no right, you have no legitimate right or anything to claim anymore any kind of injustices from the past. You are totally fucked. Okay? So white pride worldwide, I say no to one at all costs. Don't want to have anything to do with it. Russia have China, and China have Russia if China is smart. And the both have India. India loves China and Russia. The Middle East, Iran, even Pakistan is behaving funny with India. I got to say, very disappointing. But they do all understand that, with a little bit diplomacy, with the right stuff, talk, and so on, together with South America, you have Brazil, you have Mexico. stuff can be done that you know, that can totally corner them. They already are cornered. They got no place to go. They're lacking. They started to lag behind with technologically. Okay, why to give them a boost? Why to get into any kind of games with them and so on? So just you know, you don't want to get into any kind of thinking like that. This is what my thinking was in the past. Don't want to have absolutely anything to do with it. So that's all I wanted to say for today.